Good morning. Welcome to Interwatch Friday, August the 18th. Another week down. Hope everybody had a great week. We have several items. We have a couple of guests here today with us, so we'll get right to our Interwatch. First thing I want to cover is just an update on the fatality accident that occurred in the 6600 block of West Central. The case number on that is 56301. The deceased motorcycle rider is identified as Adam J. Charlier, Charlier. He's a 33-year-old male of Wichita, Kansas. Again, Adam J. and last name Charlier. Charlier.
Charlie, any update on what
Still under investigation. The case is still under investigation. At this point, the only information we have is that he had lost control and struck the curb and then struck that guardrail. We don't have any information as far as confirmed as to what caused that or what caused him to lose control or anything like that. Still under investigation to determine that exactly.
Were those from witnesses that were in the area?
Right, right, correct. Yep. Second thing, just a reminder, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, Evergreen Neighborhood Center, Community Neighborhood Center, 2700 North Woodland. We'll be kicking off the second annual Love Your Community event with a community cleanup from 8 to 10. And then at 12 to 12:30 will be a community parade. And then from 1 to 2 there will be some community speakers coming to speak about the event and speak to those that are attending the event. And then at 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock the festivities will begin, which include a car show, a 3-on-3, 3-versus-3 basketball games, dodgeball, football camp, a talent show, and Wichita police officers will also be involved in these activities, just building partnerships with the community. So it'll be a great time. Looking forward to everybody coming out and being involved in the second annual Love Your Community event.
Charlie, will you be in the talent show?
Will I be in the talent show? I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't think so. It'd be good if I was, though, right? Next, I'm going to have Detective Wendy Hummel. She's our Sedgwick County Crime Stoppers coordinator. She's going to be coming up and speaking about this week's Crime of the Week. So I'll pass it off to Wendy.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to discuss this week's Crime of the Week. It's a homicide that's still under investigation that we're seeking out any help from the public that you can provide. Early Sunday morning, July 16th of this year, an unknown intruder entered the home of Arthur Goebel and his wife at the Lamplighter Mobile Home Park, which is located in the 2300 block of East MacArthur here in Wichita. Arthur apparently heard the intruder and briefly confronted him. The intruder shot Arthur twice and immediately fled out of the home. It's unknown whether or not this intruder had a vehicle or was on foot. Arthur died of his injuries shortly after arriving at a local hospital. The intruder is described as a medium-sized male in height and weight. Mr. Goebel was a veteran of the Vietnam War and a devoted father and grandmother and a very valued member of his community and church. So if anybody has any information about this unsolved homicide, we encourage you to call Crime Stoppers at 267-2111, or you can always call the homicide section directly, but if you want to remain anonymous, you can always contact Crime Stoppers. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Was there anything taken from the home?
Not that we are aware of.
Okay. Was that description of that suspect from Mr. Goebel's wife?
I believe so, yes. Thank you.
All right. We also have another guest. We're starting a new program called Forever Home Fridays. So Officer Paul Cruz is going to come up and talk a little bit more about that program and what we're going to be doing in the next upcoming future with this program.
Thank you, Officer Davidson. Like Officer Davidson was saying, this is a new segment that we're going to be launching through the Wichita Police Department and also through our Facebook page. It's called Forever Home Fridays. So what you're going to be seeing is we're going to be highlighting animals from the Wichita Animal Shelter. Today we want to highlight our first dog, which is a German Shepherd mix. I'm going to have Detective Hummel come over and have you guys meet the new 4-month-old puppy. So we're looking for a wonderful home for this puppy, this German Shepherd mix. If anybody is interested in adopting this puppy, we ask that you go to the Kansas Humane Society and place a hold. That way you guys can have the opportunity to take this wonderful puppy home we've had a chance to play and meet the puppy while we were in the office today, and he's really calm, very energetic, and also very sweet puppy. So we ask anybody that's looking for one, we wanted to highlight, and this is what we're going to be doing periodically in the future on Fridays. In this segment, we've called Forever Home Fridays. LT, if you want to add anything. Okay. So anybody that's wanting to adopt a pet or has plans to adopt a puppy, this is a great opportunity to do so.
And
He's a little tired now.
this weekend is a particularly good opportunity.
Correct. Yeah, this weekend is a particularly good opportunity because on Saturday, if you go to the Kansas Humane Society, the fees will be waived, and so you can adopt a pet for free. There will be a lot of people, so I want to warn you, if you do plan on adopting a pet, you want to make sure you get there early. Our goal with this whole project is to unite these dogs, the stray dogs, with their owners, or if the owners don't come back or reach out to us, then we want to make sure we find them a good home. So if you have an interest, like I said, you can reach out to us, but we really want to direct you to the Kansas Humane Society for the adoption of this puppy. Any questions?
What kind of puppy is he?
He's a German Shepherd mix. We think he's about 4 months old.
I think he likes you.
He likes me.
He already has his home, right?
Right, yeah. Detective Mama wants to take him home.
Is it for, you're saying like forever, is it like fur, like F-U-R?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So, all right. Thank you.
All right, so great new program that we're starting to develop here with the Wichita Police Department. We have a large umbrella, a lot of things that we work with as a police department, and the safety of our animals in our community is one of those. So please, if it's something that you're interested in to adopt this animal, come out to the animal shelter and partake in this program. So last thing we want to cover today, you can see I got my my new navy blue suit on, my blue shirt, my blue tie, and it's Friday, so it's blue for Brian. We just want to make sure that Officer Arterburn, who was tragically injured earlier this year, remembers that the Wichita Police Department and this community are still supporting him. Our thoughts and prayers are still out for him as he continues to recover at Craig Hospital in Colorado. So I've asked Detective Dave Neinstead, Dave Neinstead to come up and give us an update. He is the family spokesperson for the Arterburn family, so we've asked him to come and just give us a little update on Officer Arterburn and his progress out at Craig. So come on up, please.
Thanks, Charlie. Thank you for the demotion. I appreciate it. So, I knew it wasn't going to last. So, I just want to give a quick update. I know a lot of people ask about Brian and his condition, how he's doing. So, I'm in regular contact with the family and kind of taking on the role of spokesman for them, just to kind of release information when we feel there's something to release. So kind of going back to the last update we did, I think was late May, early June. At that time, Brian was actually at KU Med Center in Kansas City, and he was receiving treatment for some elevated liver enzyme levels. He had a liver transplant a couple of years ago, so I was having some complications from that. That was treated. He went back to Craig in Denver for rehabilitation. During this last 2 months since he went back to Craig, he's had a couple of setbacks. He was having some symptoms, some headaches and some issues, causing him to kind of have some setbacks in his rehab. So they did a CT scan and they revealed that he had some fluid buildup in his brain. His ventricles were swollen. And so they ended up putting a shunt in, which relieved the pressure, relieved the fluid, and kind of helped that situation. And then he started having kind of a low blood count. Doctors weren't sure what was causing the low blood count, but it got to the point where they were very concerned about secondary infections, and he was very susceptible to that. So he was pretty much relegated to his room and had to stop rehab, and anyone entering the room had to come in fully gowned up, mask and all that, just for his protection. Really didn't come to a conclusion as to what was causing that issue, but thankfully, and the family certainly thankful for all the prayers of all the friends and family out there. But that blood count level had come back up, and so what we're looking at now is he's back on track for his rehab. It got to the point where he couldn't hardly get out of his bed anymore. He was having trouble even when he was able to start his rehab. It was to the point where he couldn't walk anymore, some things like that. So he had some pretty severe setbacks, and almost overnight he made what the family would call a miraculous recovery on that, and he started walking. He's very focused. He thinks about home all the time, wants to work hard to get back here. Really appreciates all the support from the community and from family and friends, and all the thoughts and well wishes and prayers mean a lot to the family. And so with that, he's working really hard. So there are a couple of videos which I've provided to Charlie that he can get out to you guys. The first video was taken about 2 weeks ago, and that's when he started walking again and working really hard at the therapy. And then the second video was taken just earlier this week, where he's walking now with a cane. So in that video you can see he's walking with his therapist. His therapist is not helping him. He's just there for some support in case he loses his balance. And so you can see Brian taking multiple steps down the hallway there at Craig, walking with just a cane. So from where we went about a month ago to where we're at now, he's really back on track. So he's continuing to progress, but again, still has a long road to recovery and a lot more healing to do. So, and a lot more rehab to go through. So, but he is making some great strides, and that's kind of where we're at right now. But we're really happy to see him up and moving and walking with just a cane now. So that's really good. Any questions or? All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. It's Nienstedt. It's Nienstedt. All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks, Charlie.
Detective. Appreciate it, Brian. Our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to you. I know the community is still supporting you. I just got messages this morning of citizens showing me their blue for Brian, wearing blue for Brian on Friday. So we encourage everybody, continue to wear that. Support Officer Brian Arterburn as he continues his road to recovery from this tragic incident earlier this year. So, any other questions this morning about anything? Have a great Friday and a good weekend. We'll see you next week.